In this video, I will show you how to make profile page in React Native Expo and Firebase. So first, we log in, sign in, and we sign in, and then we can go profile page. So we have the avatar, and we can also upload image to Firebase. And we use onSnapshot to update UI immediately. No need to refresh. And also nickname. Save profile. And it's done. We use authentication already set up, and Firestore, we need to create collection and create rules for the collection, that is users. And for storage, we need to make a folder and create rules for this folder in storage, and also upload image. Open terminal npx expos dot split terminal. Okay. And Firebase. Okay, so we have the first page is index page, to-do list, and second is explore. We can get post, and also sign in and sign up page. Okay, and I log out. We have Firebase auth. I use email to log in. Sign in. Nice. And the code is here. The code is in this. So Firebase Firestore storage security rules with auth, and you can get the code here. Now I start to in this code. Now. So first I create a page tabs page profile. The tsxrf functional component view text yes profile page. Yeah. Okay, we have profile page. So go layout, and this is for index screen and export screen. Okay, cursor give me this profile screen, and we get this, the icon symbol, and we can go profile screen. And next we go context. Next go context. Auth context. And this is the context for auth. And first is type, auth context type, and make a context user set user, and the loading set loading. Use effect setup listener to listen for the state change, the auth state change, and set user from auth, and in this user state. And login, we use email, sign in and password. This is from Firebase, and we rename it login function, and also create user. We rename it register function, and sign out from Firebase, we rename it logout function, and we provide this value. So other component and page can use this hook to call these functions or get the user value. Okay, and in this auth context, I update this function register. So register, okay, import set doc. Import from Firebase first, so doc from Firebase Firestore, and db from Firebase. Okay, so this function is get credentials and create user with email path, just like the last one. We create this, and when we run this function will change the state. Okay, we'll change the user state, and fire the listener. We set here. So auth state will change and user state will change. So user state change will trigger the rotor push, will trigger the rotor change. So the listener is waiting for the user state change and make rotor change here. Okay. And next is this is async function. When we create user, async function is success, and this async function will still run, even the user state change and the rotor changes. Okay, will still run, and we get the UID, and we we const a nickname, and we await set doc. We set doc in a user table. You can call it a collection in Firebase. It's a user table, and doc user table with this UID, user ID. And we put in UID, email, nickname, avatar URL, and created time. We use server timestamp. That is from Firebase. Okay. And this set doc, and I want to say here is this set doc will set a data in users table if the user created successfully. Okay, and we go Firebase. So storage. So first is Firestore. Okay, and users. We can delete this user. Delete. Okay, users. Okay, and we need to set rules for these users. So it's like for the users, match users user ID, allow create if it's authenticated, and the request auth ID equals user ID, and the request resource data ID equals request auth ID. It's similar to post ID and to-do list ID. So this is update for this. So allow create if request auth is not. We already have auth already authenticated, and request auth user ID equals request source data user ID. It means this depends on the front end that give the data user ID, and equals the UID. So the user can only create their own profile, their own post. Their own post, and read, update, delete their own post. Okay. So for this user ID, that is if authenticated, yes, and request auth UID is user ID equals user ID. This user ID is here, so the user ID must equals this. Okay, and this one means the request source data. This data is a JSON. In this data JSON, the UID must equals auth UID. It means the JSON, okay, the JSON of the data UID must equals UID. Okay. Created this rules for user ID and save. Okay, I already saved it. So when we trigger this function, register, it will create a user and also will set doc in the users table. That's the first. That is this. And for profile page, okay, sign out. Okay, sign in, and let's give a new. Okay, we already have it. Okay, we already have it. Register. Okay, refresh. Register. Okay, rr@r.com, and give a password. Sign up. And it's done. It's already created this user. So we go authentication, users. We can see this user that we created. And we go Firestore. We have a user. This is user ID, and avatar created a nickname user. And this UID also this user ID. It's the same. Okay, and so this function, and here is set doc. Need better choice. Not use set doc in client side. Use cloud function, Firebase cloud function to create the user profile in server side, because set doc may fail in client side of network issues or other reasons. And this is something valuable, and I will give it for free in next video. Please hit the like button. Thank you so much. And now in this demo, I use set doc, set the user data in users table. Okay. After this function. So next we create a profile page. save. So okay, 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 okay. So first is type, UID, email, nickname, avatar, created at, created at timestamp from Firebase. Is it E1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Yes. This is user profile type, and we give an avatar, default avatar, and this is a state. So the UI part return. If loading, we give loading. Okay. If no profile, give no profile. And if we got profile, we show this. So how to get the profile is this one. Use doc. We need to use doc database and this table users with user UID, and this user UID user from use auth. We can use this hook to get the user, and user UID put here dependency use memo. Why use memo? Because we need to put the use doc ref in this use effect, and this use effect will set up a listener and get a snapshot. Okay, initial data. Okay, and this one, use effect will set up a listener. Okay, so first is a protect. If no user or no doc, just return, and set up listener unsubscribe on snapshot, and if the data not exist, okay, because in auth this function may fail set doc. So in profile page, if we didn't get snapshot, it's not exist. So we need to create this set doc. But I don't think this gonna happen if we change to cloud server. But this is maybe not exist. Okay, and const data equals snapshot. We got data. Created at is this. If it exists, we use created at. Otherwise, we use timestamp. No, we set profile and set nickname. And this is the listener. And when the page mount, and we render the UI with this data, the profile data. So go simulator, refresh. Profile page, we will get the data. This is the default image URL, and nickname and email. That's model is when we click this. No. When we click this, it will set the model, and this is a model. Set the model and choose photo to upload. Okay. Choose photo to upload. We'll trigger this function. Okay, let's see. Choose photo and upload will trigger this function, and this function is handle pickup image upload. So image picker, upload image. So we pick the image, and we set the ref. So storage, we make it avatar, user UID, and this is the time string for the name. So go Firebase. We need to create a file, a folder. So here, create a folder. I already created. I name it avatars, and go rules. And we'll set rules for this avatars. We put the user ID here and the file name here, and allow read is true and it's open. And to write, that means auth, not null, and the auth UID equals user ID this way. This pass equals this for this user. Okay. And upload bytes. That's from Firebase. Okay, Firebase Storage. We upload this image and get the image URL. And update the doc means set the doc in the database. Okay, this the upload image. So we'll give it a try. Choose. And uploading. And success. And this will trigger the listener on snapshot change. So we don't need to refresh this page. So it will refresh automatically. Okay. And the nickname, we change it to RRQ. Okay. Okay, whatever. Okay, save profile. Success. It will update this. So text input, set name, nickname, and we click save, click handle save, unpress. When we click here, save profile. When we click save, it will say handle save nickname. And this function, okay, update doc, nickname, trimmed from nickname input. Okay. So that's it. And also the logout. So this is the logout button. And no need row to replace here. No need to replace. Just log out. The listener will push user to log in and sign up page. Okay.